One local newspaper called the president's walk across to the deputy president's office a peace walk. Several reports that I have seen have insinuated that the purpose of the meeting was to calm the very violent raging waters within the Jubilee party, to bring peace, to end what appears to be a standoff between the president and his deputy. And that may seem the most logical explanation to explain the events of yesterday, but I don't agree. My advice, if you want to analyze politics correctly, never trust politicians when they do something in public. Never ever. Instead, trust their actions behind the scenes. Trust their deliberate actions, against somebody or against each other. You'll be on the right track when you do that. But photo opportunities, will always get you very confused. I want you to remember one thing. A deputy president having a meeting with the president should be normal. It shouldn't be a photo opportunity. Indeed, it should be happening all the time, several times during the day. But when this becomes big news, headlines across the country, then you know something is wrong here. Picture this. Your neighbor is having a discussion with his wife out in the garden, behind the house. They are sitting down and discussing something over tea. You look through the fence and you see this. Well, what's your reaction? That's normal. However, if your neighbor kicked out his wife, out of the house 6 months ago, and then you peep through the fence, you see them discussing in the garden, that's very big news. That is headline breaking news in the neighborhood. And that is why precisely, the president meeting with his deputy, which should be normal, has become screaming headlines right across the country called Kenya. Because it is now clear it is not business as usual. There is something very wrong. Now, pioneers on this channel, the people subscribed very early, will remember that I started talking about this problem between the president and his deputy in early 2017, even before the general elections. And of course, nobody believed. Indeed, I lost a few subscribers. Chris, what are you telling us? What are you cooking? Jubilee is solid. You'll wait for Jubilee to collapse forever. Now, my reason for bringing that up is not to chest thump or to praise myself. No. The reason why I'm bringing that up is to remind you how dangerous it is to analyze politics and the political situation by what you see in public. That will never work. You'll always get it wrong. This is very important to keep in mind as we proceed further and look a little deeper into what is really happening here. And let us start with something that happened behind the scenes. It was public, but not many people took note of it. During this meeting between the president and his deputy, the president turned the deputy president's office into a studio. Yes. The president had an interview, cameras and all and lights and so on, with the International Coffee Council media team for its archives. You can see that photograph on your screen right now. Now let's do a little thinking. You have a very big problem, maybe with your brother. There's a family issue that needs to be discussed. And during this very serious peace meeting, you interrupt the peace discussions so that you can discuss with the Mama Boga concerning the bill you're disputing. She distributed groceries to your house and you think she overcharged you. And you asked her to come over, not even to your house, to come over to the family homestead so that you may discuss this overbilling. I think you get my drift. This is clear evidence that what we saw yesterday was nothing more than just a photo opportunity, with certain objectives in mind. And we shall discuss those objectives shortly. Meanwhile, let's look at something else. The initial meeting, because there were several meetings yesterday, by the way, the initial meeting behind closed doors only had the president, his deputy, and the head of the public service, Joseph Kinyo. Only those three were present. Others were summoned later. So what could that be about? Now, next Thursday, the president is due to address parliament. His usual State of the Nation address. And the way things are going, there's a very high possibility that he could be heckled by die-hard supporters of the deputy president, mostly from the Rift Valley. And so I'm speculating, because nobody was in the room, I'm speculating that this came up in discussions. And the president may have said, William, let's keep these politics out of the State of the Nation address. It's to the whole nation. Partisan politics should not come in. Something else I know must have come up for discussion is the recent boycott of presidential functions by the deputy president. For instance, the deputy president was conspicuously absent during the recent swearing-in of the new Education Cabinet Secretary, Professor George Magoha. At the same ceremony, the new Commissioner General of the Kenya Prison Service, Wycliffe Ogalo, was also sworn in. It is widely believed that the deputy president deliberately boycotted this particular function. Now, it is very interesting that the Jubilee leadership, which was called in immediately after this closed-door meeting, must have read the situation completely wrongly. They probably read the situation in exactly the same way many Kenyans read it. A peace meeting of sorts, a meeting to iron out differences within the Jubilee party. Now, the Jubilee party parliamentary leadership that was summoned after the session included National Assembly Majority Leader Aden Duale, Majority Whip Benjamin Washiali, and Defense and Foreign Relations Committee Chairman Katu Ole Mitito. Now, Aden Duale, and this is very interesting, Aden Duale immediately suggested that a full parliamentary group meeting of the Jubilee Party is called. The objective being to iron out, all the differences within the party, so that the party speaks as one going forward, and they stop confusing Kenyans. The president's response to that was very firm and very much unlike him, because the people within Jubilee are used to a president, who, even if he suggests something that is not for, he will respond and explain in detail why he does not want the party to go that way. But instead, the president firmly said, no such meeting will take place. Instead, he directed the majority leader to call a Kamkunji, a meeting of all Jubilee members of parliament. And the purpose of that meeting will be to rally internal unity ahead of next week's State of the Nation address in parliament. There you go. No heckling, no drama. This is really what the president is directing Duale to organize. Now. This is super interesting and I believe very instructive. The long and short of what I'm trying to say is that those incidences that I've taken note of are the ones you should focus on if you want to read this particular meeting, which has puzzled and perplexed many Kenyans. If you want to read it correctly, that's what you should focus on. Now, meanwhile, there is drama concerning this idea of impeaching the deputy president. Momentum is gathering believe it or not. And I shall discuss that in part 2 of this video. You know, it is interesting that after I made my video yesterday about this impeachment manenos, I took in quite a lot of other interviews done in the media concerning the same topic with politicians all over the place. And it was very interesting that none of these interviews I saw supported my position in the video I made yesterday. All of them were saying impossible, daydreaming, premature, etc., etc. Well, let's look in part 2 what is really happening behind the scenes in connection to this. Don't miss it. And of course we'll go into it immediately after the brief upcoming break. Don't go away.